Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the homestead. So today I want to go over some of our 2023 goals that we have set here on the homestead. So drop down in the comments, what is one of your goals for 2023? I would love to know what one of your goals are for this year. So let's talk about the first one, which is right here behind the house, my backyard kitchen garden. There it is. So this was one of my goals for last year, to get this going, and I did. I got it started. There's still a lot more that I want to do back here, but the main thing is that I got this grass to die back. That was the main thing. Here is my dirt. The cardboard that we put down is breaking down here quite nicely, and it's dirt right underneath. No grass. So this is the start of my backyard kitchen garden. I also have raised beds that I got super cheap, but let me show you the problem that I'm finding with these raised beds. The bottom completely fell out of this bed, and that is what I have found in some of the reviews on these particular raised beds, is that the bottoms were falling out of them. And I was thinking to myself, why are these bottoms falling out when there's so many screws that are inside each of these raised beds? And it's because the screws are snapping. They are not good screws. So I was talking with hubby, and we're deciding on, with these other raised beds that haven't broken, maybe just going ahead and switching out the screws and putting some good quality screws in there to hopefully prevent them from breaking and falling out. These were not full with soil, so that falling out like that is not a good sign. If these were full of all kinds of vegetables, I'd be very upset right now if I came out and found all of my hard work on the floor. So all I have really left to do with this backyard kitchen garden is I need to fence it. My chickens are always in here, so I need to fence this up, because once I put some vegetables and different kinds of foods in here, I don't want my chickens eating them. So I'm gonna have to go through and go ahead and put up a nice fence around this before I go and plant anything in this garden. Next thing on my list is my grow room. I had this down for last year. We did not get to it, so I'm gonna put it for this year, and hopefully we can get it to this year. This is our pump house, and this is where everything has accumulated. It looks pretty bad in here. This is my catch-all room. It's got everything just all over the place in here. But this is where I would like to have a grow room, because it does stay fairly warm in here. It does not get as cold as it does outside. And if I put a few heaters in here, then this would be a well heated area that I can have all of my plant starts. Get the proper lights. I can add more lights up here, the proper grow lights, and I think this would be a great grow room once I get it all situated. It's a lot of work, but all I have is time, so I just got to get started on it. As we're getting ready to walk to the barn, I noticed smoke over here out of our neighbor's house, so we're gonna head over there and just make sure everything's okay. We are in eastern Kentucky, and a lot of times you burn all of your piles over here, whether it be your trash or just built up wood that is no good. There's a lot of burning that goes on here, but let me just head down just to make sure. He is new. He's from California just like us, so he's learning the ropes around here as well. We found the fire. He's got a nice little ring around it. Look at that pile back there. We got a big pile right there. He has done a lot of work over here. It looks really, really nice. Trimmed a bunch of things down, but it's all looking good. All right, friends, so next on my list of things to do this year in 2023 is this barn. We painted the other two small barns, and now we want to go ahead and get this barn painted. It's a big barn. That's a lot of paint, and I'm not going up there to paint, so somebody else is gonna have to do that. I'll do the bottom, that's no problem. It took 1.5 of those 5-gallon buckets to paint that one, and to also paint that one over there. It also took another 1 5-gallon and a half another gallon, so it's gonna be a lot of paint. We are predicting at least 5 for this one, maybe even 5.5 to 6. I've got 3 of the 5-gallon buckets already, but we need to get on that one. You can't paint during the winter time, so we'll probably wait until spring and go ahead and paint this come spring, if I have the extra help. Hint, hint. Uncle Randy, 60 Acres and a Dream, LSR Adventures. Y'all want to come have a painting party? I could definitely use you. All right, friends, the next thing on our bucket list for 2023 is breeding our pigs. Last year was a complete fail. We did not know what we were doing. We thought we knew what we were doing, but come to find out after speaking to a lot of breeders, we did not keep our boar with our females long enough to actually allow them to start breeding. And then Mr. Pumbaa was just an idiot. He did not know what he was doing. He knew what he wanted to do, but he wasn't doing it properly. So hopefully now that we have Hagrid and we are raising him up with Hermione, they will be able to breed, and then we can in turn put Hagrid with Minnie and Petunia and allow them to breed as well. And we will let them have the opportune breeding time that they need in order to get the job done. So hopefully 2023 we will have breeded our pigs as well as have a couple of litters of piglets. That is the goal. Alright friends, next up on our goals for 2023 is our meat birds. So every year so far we have had our meat birds come during summertime. This time around I want to expand that by having at least 5 sessions of 80 meat birds, and also have classes to teach how to process your own meat birds here on the homestead. That is a huge goal of mine for this year, and I hope it's going to work out. As far as what we are planning to do for our meat birds, we've always used number 5 here for our meat birds, but we are going to switch with my father-in-law. He's going to take number 5 for his pigeons, and we are going to take number 2 for the meat birds. My husband's going to do some work in there to get it all prepared and ready for the meat birds when we get them come April. We're going to start early this year and get them in April, and every 5 to 6 weeks we'll get a new batch of meat birds to put in there while we have the other ones out on pasture, and just keep rotating until we get through probably September. September will be the last time we get our meat birds, because then it starts getting really cold over here in Kentucky. Alright friends, so next on our list of things to do in 2023 is to continue on with our orchard. We've got plenty of space right here that we want to add some more trees to our orchard. Not sure what kind of trees we're going to add yet, but I definitely am keeping my eyes open to find some more fruit trees that we can put in here. That's how I want to expand this area with some trees. We're going to continue to leave the middle open so that way we can drive through there, and as the trees grow up we'll be able to pick them in the middle of the orchard. But we're talking about expanding more towards the mountain, putting another row of trees in right there, as well as all right here. This is all open area that trees can go as well. Alright friends, so this area right here is completely vacant, and it has been this entire time. We've been going back and forth on different things that we want to do here, and I think we have come to the conclusion that we are going to do livestock right here. We have been playing with the idea of getting a couple cows and allowing them to graze right in here. This is a big area. It doesn't look very big on camera, but this is a big area for them to graze on, and it'd be perfect for just 2 cows. So our goal this year is to get a couple of cows. We're going to wait until probably spring or early summer to go ahead and get the cows and get them out here onto pasture. So we need to go ahead and fence all this up, and that way they will be able to be safe in here and not roam around and get off the property. Another thing while we're talking about livestock that we want to do is utilize this mountain. It's a huge mountain. Previous owner, she put cows galore up this mountain and never had a problem. We want to eventually get pigs up here and also get our cows up here. But the first thing that we have to do is we need to go through and clear up the fence line. All that is fenced. There's tons of fencing all around the perimeter of our property. You just can't see it because it's so overgrown. So we need to get in here and actually start cleaning up the fence line. This is the perfect time to do it when everything is dead and has died back. So that is a goal that I have. Me, my husband, and my father-in-law to get in here and start clearing it up. My father-in-law has started right behind the house, clearing a lot of it up, but my main focus is getting this fence line cleaned up so that I can see if there's anything that we need to fix along the fence line before we go ahead and put any livestock up there. Alright friends, so the next thing on my goals list is bees. Am I going to get bees in 2023? The answer is probably not. I've got so much already going on the homestead. I've got the chicken butchering workshop that I'm planning on doing. I've got breeding pigs. Cows are going to be coming to the homestead. That's a big thing. I just don't want to put too much on my plate that I then neglect one of these animals. So I am going to put off getting bees until 2024. I'm going to continue researching and learning as much as I can, hanging out with LSR Adventures, Robert and his bees, and just learning everything I can about the bees before I get them next year. So that will be put off for 2024. All right, friends, so now on to our garden, our 2023 garden, and the plans that we have for it is we are actually gonna reduce the size of my garden here. You can see this is a big garden. And honestly, I did not need this much of a garden for just our family. It was a little bit too much for me to actually keep a hold of. I lost a lot of my vegetables to the weeds. So this year I'm actually going to cut it in half, and I'm going to use only half of this garden for an actual garden. The other half we are going to let grow up into pasture and use that as pasture for our cows to come in it and graze. And because I will be cutting this garden down by half, I have decided not to go to the farmer's market this year. I am going to utilize everything I grow here in the garden to put up in my pantry for my family and for us to eat this year. So no farmer's market this year. We'll see next year. We'll talk about it then, but I just don't think it was worth it for me to go to the farmer's market. I did not sell as much as I wanted to when I in turn could have put that in my pantry for food storage, which I think is a lot more important for my family. All right, friends, so the last of my goals for 2023 are going to be all my indoor goals, which are expand my pantry. That I will be doing by only focusing on growing my garden for my pantry and for my family, as well as I want to get started on my kombucha, my sourdough, fermenting my sourdough, and making bread. I have tried it a couple times and it's a lot of work. So I need to put some work into that, because buying bread at the grocery store versus having some fresh homemade bread sounds a whole lot better. So friends, thank you for coming by the homestead. Those are all my goals for 2023. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. As always, I hope all is well and have a blessed day.